your mind has to seek discomfort. It has to seek these difficult tasks. You have to enjoy it, and you have to figure out a way to make your mind enjoy those things. Some people it comes easy, and some people it doesn't. Some people it takes a long time. Discipline equals freedom. And it's true, because he's able to force himself to do that every single time. There's no excuses. There's no breaks. There's no days off. It doesn't happen. So because of that, you're not scared. You know that you can keep doing. You know that you can continue to perform. There's a lot of people that are scared of their ability to do something that's difficult. They're scared of whether or not you see someone who's doing something that's really tough to do, and you go, man, I don't know if I could do that. I don't know if I could force myself to be disciplined. I don't know if I could force myself to take that kind of action. Well, if you do force yourself to take that kind of action, you don't have that question anymore.
Guess what the main ingredient in victory in your life is? Discipline. Yeah. All day. There is no shortcut. There is no hack. There's no sweatless solution. You're gonna have to work. There is always weakness to work on. Always. A lot of them. Why would we allow ourselves to make easy excuses? Why would you allow that?
The SEALs didn't beat this into me. You have to have it before you even get there. Because if you're not structured and disciplined before you get there, they can't teach you while you're getting your ass kicked, because you'll quit. So basically for me is, once you really want to become uncommon amongst the best people in the world, you can't give yourself a way out. A common individual can stay on point for a year and they fall off. That's normal. It's that uncommon person that has, how long here? Well, I haven't taken the day off in 6 years. You don't hear that very often. That's how you start to separate yourself. So to separate yourself, you can't allow yourself to say, oh man, for some reason, I let myself go for a week and then I just have a hard time getting back. You have to put in your mind that I don't want to be that person anymore. For me to separate myself from everybody, that's what most people do. Most people cannot be like, oh, I'm not missing a day regardless, because if I miss today, I'm going to miss tomorrow. And I know that about myself. So come hell or high water, I'm going to get it in. And you have to get the mindset of, it haunts you if you don't get it in.
I've had people that listen to the podcast and they've reached out to me over the past few years, and one of the main messages that they took and put into action was actually putting things into action, whatever that was. They stopped eating sugar. They stopped sleeping in. They started waking up early. They quit playing video games for 10 or 12 or 14 hours a day. They sold that Xbox thing. There's people that have quit drinking, that quit doing drugs, and quit losing their temper. And I've heard from so many different people that have implemented change in their lives. So many letters and messages and notes. And I want you to know that these people aren't a bunch of elite special operations warriors. That's not who they are. They aren't a bunch of high-level athletes or highly screened and highly trained individuals. These are just normal people, really. But they're normal people that knew they needed to make a change. And they decided they were going to make a change, and then they made it. And that is what I do. And that is what you can do to. If you have something to change, if you want to change something, change it. Change it now. When the actual time that you need to go on the warpath and you need to go harder on the warpath is when things are going wrong. That's when you need to dig deeper. That's when the whole idea of saying good, that's when it happens. When things are when you're getting tested by the world. That's when you want to do it. So when you get tested by the world, that's when you get the opportunity to show the world what you're made of. That's when you get to say, bring it on. Bring it on. Oh, things are going wrong? Bring it on. I actually look forward to that. Because this is when I get to exercise my discipline. This is when I get to show the discipline. I get to put the discipline to work. It's the moment I have been waiting for. Because let's face it, if things were easy, then I could just sit around and slack off. Right? That's what could happen. When things are easy, when things are going right, that's when you actually can slack off a little bit because things are going right. I don't recommend it. I recommend actually when things are going right, you go hard. But when things are going wrong, you need to go even harder. So if everything's going wrong, it doesn't matter to me because I'm on the path. I'm going to stay on the path. The war path. I'm going to get my situation rectified. Stat. Other than death, all failure is psychological. Other than death, all failure is psychological. Think about that. Just think about that. This failure, this upset, this catastrophe. If you aren't dead, then it's just psychological. It's in your head. Now, this does not mean that you won't lose some battles, because you will. We all will. But it does mean that as long as you don't surrender, as long as you don't give up, as long as you don't quit, then you haven't failed. It just means you've made a temporary tactical retreat. It means you've made a brief withdrawal so that you can regroup and re-attack. So, as far as I'm concerned, if you get beat, unless you're dead, you are not defeated. And you have not failed. What you've done is you've learned. You've gained experience. And you're still alive. And you have memories to make. So get up and go get after it. We lie to ourselves. We don't tell ourselves the way things really are. And when we do that, then we can't fix our problems. If we can't fix our problems, we're not going to improve. So we have to be truthful to ourselves. I have to be truthful to myself. You have to be truthful to yourself. You have to stop rationalizing, stop making excuses, stop telling yourself little watered down assessments of where you're really at. Tell yourself the truth so that you can get where you want to go. You can be who you want to be. You can be who you should be. Who you should be when you do what you know you should do, when you pay attention to the little things, when you implement discipline, true and unflinching and unmitigated discipline in your life, when you stop trying to find a sweatless solution, when you look for weaknesses to work on, when you allow no easy excuses. And all that starts when you stop lying to yourself. and you stop lying to yourself, that's when you can become who you know you should be. When you tell yourself the truth about where you are, so you can make sure you are in the right place. And if you're not in the right place, then you can get yourself on the path to get there. The path of discipline, the path of hard work, and the path of truth.
Most people, their associations are to avoid anything that's uncomfortable. But it's so illogical, because when you look at comfort, a lot of those are connected to discomfort. Like, discomfort is your friend. It really is. Like, discomfort, not being happy and content with certain situations in life, or certain feelings in life, they're massive motivators, and they're amazing at facilitating change. Well, when I was 21 and I was first starting to do comedy, that's when I was really devouring as much of it as possible, because I was trying to figure out like how to not be so lazy, how to be motivated, how to get done, and how to like find the correct path and think about things correctly. But really what it's all about is just getting it together and moving. Just go do something. Just doing it makes you do more. Like, do more hard makes you do more hard. It's what makes you have that confidence that you know how to push through, and the mentality that I'm the type of dude who gets done. Like, I'm not gonna waste my day just sitting around a hotel room. No, I'm gonna go to work. Well, I think the one thing that discipline definitely does help you with, it helps you get things done. You have more success. Get there and start working. Like, you're not gonna feel perfect every day. And so the benefit of discipline in my eyes has always been that through discipline, I get things done. I always say that I'm like the most lazy, disciplined person I know, because I don't want to do it, but I always do, and that you have to sit down, you have to overcome resistance, and that the pro goes to work. And it doesn't matter if you're sick, it doesn't matter if you have kids, it doesn't matter what, you're a pro and you go to work. Just, it puts it in your head that this is what I do. And you have pride in that. And you're doing the work. Yeah. And out of that work, gems blossom. Yeah. Little things, but you might have a day where you just write nothing but dog. So what? Show up again tomorrow. And tomorrow out of that dog, flower will emerge. You never know. And that's the only way to really develop your potential 100% in anything. One of the worst decisions a man can make is to be comfortable. I don't think you should try to be comfortable. I think what you should try to do is try to earn comfort. And if you can get a day off where you've worked hard and you've accomplished goals, that day off will be so sweet. Through difficult tasks, you learn an incredible amount about yourself. And through the fire of competition, you get to understand motivation. You get to understand the resistance that you have inside your mind to doing hard work. You get to understand the rewards of discipline. Like, you don't truly appreciate relaxation unless you've worked hard. Understanding that you can achieve those goals, it's going to be difficult. You're going to push through the difficulty, and then you're going to understand what difficulty truly is. How much of it is just mental? How much of it is just in your mind? This adversity to difficult task or to struggle, and a lot of people have that. They're scared of complications. They're scared of failure. Failure is a big one that people are afraid of, but failure is one of the most important things you could ever have. I think failure teaches you things that you don't learn from success. I think failure gives you an opportunity for self-examination. It also gives you a feeling that is very uncomfortable. And that very uncomfortable feeling helps you grow. And don't look at these failures as like proof that you suck. Look at them as opportunities for growth. Look at them as opportunities to be motivated to do better. I think you're supposed to seek lessons, and you're supposed to seek difficult tasks and accomplishments. And through those things and through doing things that are hard to do, what I tell people is the best advice that I've ever heard, the best advice I ever came up with, is that live your life like you're the hero in your movie. Pretend you are, right now, you're in the part of the movie that starts and it shows you as a fucking loser. And just decide not to be a loser anymore. Live your life like there's a documentary crew following you around and you are analyzing your own behavior. Do what you would want to do so that your kids one day would look back at it and see that documentary and look on it with pride, like, wow, he really did what he had to do. I love a success story, and the way to do that, you got to write it down.